Today I'm reviewing this mini basketball and basketball hoop set that this brand sent me to make a video on. Now, this one does include the mini basketballs, also the air pump, and then the backboard and the net as well. So let's go ahead and open it up and let me show you exactly what you get inside. Once you get it open, this is exactly what you're going to see inside. So as you can see, there is going to be some assembly required. So let me go ahead and get into exactly what you need to do. Now, the backboard is going to come with some cover on the plexiglass here. So you will want to make sure that you take that off before you go ahead and assemble it. That will make it a little bit easier. And then you're going to, of course, put the hoop onto the backboard. Now, assembly is pretty basic. It does come with a few extra screws, so just keep that in mind. You don't actually use all of them, so it gives you one extra of the long one extra short one, and then one extra of the nut as well. One thing when I was assembling that I did want to mention is that the nuts actually need to be in here before you start tightening the screws from the other side. The screws just don't easily slide through. You do actually have to turn them, which it does come with a little screwdriver if you don't happen to have one handy, so that is nice. But it does, you should put the actual nuts in there before you start to put the bolts or screws in on the other side, just so that way you only have to do it once. The other thing I did want to mention is this takes 3 AAA batteries that are not included, so that is something to keep in mind also. And then it has a button on this side for the scoring. So you just go ahead and turn that on. And as you can see, it is actively working. Now for the mounting part, you're just going to go ahead and put 2 screws up here onto this bracket, and then 2 screws onto that bracket. Let me turn that off. 2 screws on this bracket, 2 screws on that bracket, just the screws through onto the metal bracket itself. And then this is designed to tighten up, so you can put it onto a door, or if you maybe a dresser drawer or something like that. It also does come with this foam on the back. Truthfully, I assume it's so that the door doesn't push up against this and kind of makes it a little bit more sturdy. However, I'm not sure how well that will actually work because it is just foam with a piece of paper on it. Now, let me go ahead and mount it. Before I get to that, let me go ahead and show you these basketballs. Now, this is what the basketballs come like, and truthfully, I would not even call these basketballs. This is probably the thinnest rubber I've ever felt. It does not even feel like a basketball, to be 100% honest with you. However, for a small set for a kid, definitely not too terribly bad. Let me go ahead and air a couple of those up just to show you what they'll look like when aired. The air pump that it comes with as well. Again, entire really flimsy plastic on here. The needle is actually made of plastic as well, which again is going to mean it's going to break pretty easily. So you're probably going to want an actual air pump. If you use this pretty regularly, you're going to want a real air pump. And then I'd probably go ahead and invest in some actual mini basketballs, not just these kind of rubber ones. But let me go ahead and air them. This is what they look like aired up. Again, they're really just like big rubber balls. They're not basketball material at all. And this is as big as they get also, so they are relatively small. So the net could actually handle much larger basketballs, as you can see here. So I'd probably recommend upgrading to actual mini basketballs rather than using these if you're going outside. But if you're using this inside, then these ones that maybe won't be as hard or won't break things are probably good for that. Now let me go ahead and mount it up on a door and show you how it works. The thing about these door mounts that I did want to mention is that they are just like a thin rubber almost. So there's actually really no padding behind this screw. So you're likely going to damage any paint or something that you have here. It'd be a lot better if this were like a foam or something like that wouldn't allow you to damage the door. So that is an issue with this specific bracket, the way that it does work. And then let me go ahead and shut the door. Again, an issue with just the way that it mounts. So it mounts well, but then you're not going to be able to shut the door entirely. So probably going to be taking it on and off the door. Let me go ahead and see how the basketballs go through and if it actually counts the score properly. So let's go ahead and see if that works. And as you can see, it does. So it does make like a cheering sound every shot that you make. It appears to change the sound a little bit. So it's like 2 different cheering sounds. And then I think it just counted it when I didn't actually do anything. Maybe my arm got in the way? No, wasn't moving. Okay, so I'm sure the sensor, so the sensor is if you get close enough to it, it's right down here at the bottom. So you can mess it up, but obviously if the kids are dunking on it or something, that might happen. But overall, definitely a decent value mini basketball hoop. Like I said, we're going to be putting this in my son's room. It's where it is now. I'd probably recommend putting it on like a closet door or something rather than the main entry door, just because then your door won't actually shut. But overall, definitely a nice looking product and one that will work well, and I'm sure he'll have tons of fun with.